Hello and welcome to the new episode of Stun Muffin YouTube channel, and today I'm going to show you in detail we saw before the videos on this Blender series. Okay, let's get started. First of all, we saw that the workspaces and top menus and scenes and view layers and also regions and areas or panels, right? And now we're gonna need a little bit detail in this video, and then we saw different type of Blender behaviors in our program. First of all, we said before these things it's a panel. It is not panel, this is actually areas. I'm so sorry again, these are actually areas. Okay, we see little curve on the border. We saw like this and like this. These are areas, guys, and our areas is here. This is 3D view areas. We're gonna see areas with borders just like the rounding edge, and different type of areas we can see. Just we have 1, 2 and 3, and also we had a timeline section, but we get rid of the timeline, and now we are different type of things, our areas, and we see the little vertically a lot of icons over there. Every one of icon just explain their actions. For example, we are in now scene properties. The scene properties tabs, this means these names are tabs, and also the little things explaining things about here is a panels. Actually, the yellow side of this, every icon in here, the tabs with properties areas in here with a red colors of this border, we're gonna see the areas, and with a yellow rectangle, I'm gonna show that the tabs, and another types is a panel. The panels actually in tabs or something different of areas you can see, but these are in the sequence of this details, and we have a different things on this side. The first of all, we have areas with outliner with properties areas, and we're gonna see that the tabs actually change if you select different type of object. Okay, if I select object and it's related, and if I select camera, then the camera settings just appears that, and also if I select lights, it appears different kind of object. For now, I'm just going to say that this is a tabs and this is a panels. We are manipulating them all of this, and now I'm gonna select any type of object. If I select, you have to see on the properties, but before we select, let's get more explain about these panels. These are panels, and did you see the looking for down the arrow on the left side, left top, and also we can see the names, and also on the right side we can see the dots. And if you want to, just left mouse button, hold the left mouse button, and you can just change their order, like the moving or dragging up. You cannot change of the outside of their properties, just change in here their order. If you look for this looking for down arrow, and if I left mouse click button, and the panels shrinks, and also we cannot anymore in details. If I go another type of right looking arrow in here, if I click this, and it's appeared there settings just appears like this, and also we can see the checkbox over here. So many different type of panels on the side has like this checkboxes. If I left click mouse button to this arrow, it goes like this, but if I turn off this checkbox, and I cannot use their properties or settings or adjusting things, you can just disable in this settings about this named panels. For now, I'm turn on this checkbox like that. If you just left click and it appear or goes explaining something, if you click again, it shrinks again. You can so many times to do that. You can see the main things, and also we see the properties panels or different type of these things, and you can move your mouse cursor and wait, and the explaining description something appears like this. If you move your mouse on this icon, and you can see they are actually explaining description. Let's try to click this here on the active tool and workspace settings, and also I can change the render properties and also output properties, and we have a view layer properties, scenes properties, and our world properties, and also we see the collection properties, which is related to this side, and also we see the texture properties. On this tab actually related their contents. And then for now, let's go to click our object and see what happens on the properties. If I click to left mouse button with this object and it goes lights on the border side, you can see this is inactive. And also you can see on the right side properties panels of your objects properties over here. This is a pairs. This little rectangle with orange color, like this rectangle, you can see actually your object's name and transformations and relations and collections or other things about your objects. And also we have this wrench icon over here. This icon is modified properties. We are give this object to different type of modifier. We can see that actually they are different type of modifier, but for now, if you go just on this side and just click left mouse button, and you can see so many modifier to give your object. And also we have different type of properties: the particle properties, physics properties, and object constraint properties. You're gonna see a lot of things over here. And also we have a main things about objects. We can see this icon, this type of icon, and green. If we see that icon, we all actually to know this is object data. You can see on the actually outliner. Before actually do that, you can see there actually it's an object related to this icons. And also we can see the material properties with this objects, and also this is a general ones with the texture properties, all of your actually things over here. We can actually see the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 different actually settings appears if I select the object. Let's change our active object to camera. If I select the camera and I see the 4 of settings appears on the property side. So the first one, it's the same object properties. This object name is camera, and you can see the camera settings over here. And also we can actually shrink and click this little looking for down arrows and like this, and shrinking all of this actually panels. And also we can change the orders like this. The next one is actually physics properties, and also the next one object constraint properties, and we have a little camera icon here. If we see on the properties tab in this camera, okay, then I just think now the active object is camera. If I see green icons, I just think, okay, I see the little green, I must select the object. If we see on this side of the camera icon, and okay, our actually active object is camera. And then the last one is the light. If I select the light and the properties side, we see the green actually light bulb here, and we can see different type. Again, we see that the object properties, physics properties, and also object constraint properties, and we see the object data properties. If I click again this little green light bulb and I see the light panel, this means I can change about this light's settings or adjusting different kind of actually type of light types. You can see and you can change their settings in here. Okay, let's look for the outliner system. For instance, we see the outliner side of collections. The main collection is here, the scene collection. On this is a parent, this is a child collection. Actually in Blender we have a child or parent things in this program. What is that? If your collections just it has under the things, this is a child. Okay, I see the outliner over here, and also we see the icons, editor type, we see the outliner, and right side we see different things on the right side. This is display mode. The display mode in with layers, and also if I click here I can change my outliner system to another type of actually display mode. For example, video sequencer and data API and library overrides or orphan datas. I'm just looking for the view layer. We are now outliner system on the view layers, and we see little search bar over here. If I click here and write something like cube, then a green light on this actually objects just looking for this, and you can search any type of actually objects in here. And if you don't make any type of change, you can just click this little cross button, and also you can just delete your search. We see on the right side a filter mode. We use this for the filtering our objects, and also we can see more actually restriction toggles or more specific settings in here. For now we have a filter mode, filtering collections, objects, object contents, objects children or meshes. You're gonna see that object data properties on this actually icon, but this is a mesh, lights, cameras and empties. You can see all of your filter option over here. If I click again, then shrinks up and I cannot see anymore. And also we have a feature of this type of icon over here. This is a new collection. If I click here, I just created new collection over here. And also in this side, in outliner side, you can actually manipulate your everything, but just their name and their options. For example, this is a little white box on this left side icon to collection. Let's get change our actually collection. If I click that collection, just one click, there is no movement over here. But if I double click on this name, I can change the name actually. Okay, let's get just right the box and press enter, and see the new collection appears in this side. And you see the left side of the 3D view areas, you see that this is selected box collection. If I select the any type of collection, I can see the collection of name here. And also I can, if I select the camera or something like this, you can see their child's actually appears with a name. This is main collection, and I select the cube one. If I select two of them, and this is box and this is collection. If I select all of them, again the same thing appears. It's not different. If I select all of this on my side, you can see the active collection on appears on the left top of the 3D view. And we can actually manipulate them with their actually things over here, but now we can just select our name, change name or something like that. And if you select this type of collection, we just select and right click, and if we right click on any type of things, this is a context appears. Let's get press the right mouse button. If I click the right mouse button, the collection with a collection settings, I can see every detail on the collection. If I select the cube and right click, and I just look for this on the top, what is that? This is object. Okay, I just think this, all of our things, contents, settings are related to our objects. If I select light and right click, this is an object again. But if I select any type of collection and right click, we see the collection named about their actually settings. And okay, we see a lot of things actually in here, and also we have to be careful of their right things. This is so many things and we can just look forwardly, but we cannot explain for this time. These are actually restriction toggles with their names at the filter. If I go to filter and select this type of restriction toggles, and I can see all of my actually settings it's changed. And also you can manipulate them with a render or displaying, or you cannot see on this time and also render type. And we can see the actually hidden viewport, and also we will see the next part of the Blender, but now it is related to their visibilities or something selecting or selection type of these objects. Okay, we see a lot of things over here. Let's look for the 3D view, and we see in here again we have same thing. The top left area editor type, everything. This area editor type, this area editor type. And also I'm just not gonna pass it through way. If you go to properties panel, and you can just search for any type of modifiers or something like that. And also we can see the little options over here. This is sync with outliner. It's never, always, or automatically. It goes off the automatically and something like that. I'm so sorry for that. I'm just in here for now. Let's look forwardly in 3D region, and we see the again editor type, and also in here in 3D viewport. We are in now 3D viewport, and now next to box we see the interaction mode. If I select any type of object, and interaction mode changes, but this light or camera, we cannot change these modes, this objects mode. But if I select type of cube or object and go to interaction mode, we select different type of mode over here, and this is related to their types, and this might be camera or this might be light. But light or camera, it's not changeable. You cannot change actually type of these things, but you can manipulate them with a different type of length or shifting or clipping or depth of field or different type of options. And also you can change or manipulate the light, but you cannot change the type of objects modifying. You can just manipulating with objects in different type of interaction mode. If I select the mode, different type of mode, you can see the left side of the mode. This is an object mode. On the right side, we're gonna select any type of actually object. In this side, we are in object mode. We cannot select or we cannot change now for different interaction mode. If I select my objects edit mode or different type of interaction mode, you can see the current mode on the outliner. And also our 3D areas, 3D view areas is change. Our left side of this change. These are tools, and if I change my interaction mode, the toolbars every time related to their interaction mode, and also we see a lot of different type of tools over here. And also we see the main actually editing object tools type or tools settings over here. And if I select different type of objects or different type of these things, you can see actually their settings, adjusting settings over here. If I select again, but before further I go, I just look for the outliner again, the current mode just icon over here, you can see here as well. And we see the toolbar, but we see actually we need to see second type of sidebars. We not past the sidebars, so let's look for the sidebars. What is that? The sidebars appears right side, but for now we cannot see that. If we want to see that, you can see on this little looking for the left arrow is here. If I click here and I just see the sidebar actions over here, and if you want to more specific tools, or you can just adjusting your objects, and you have to go in here the tool. We now sidebar on the right side, item, tool, and view. The item actually we see our selected objects. For now it is a cube, and that is cube's location. That's cube transform settings over here: location, rotation, scale, and dimension. And the tools bar in here we see the current active tools and name or explain detail. in here, we see the active tool panels and brushes, or all type of actually related to their modes. For example, let's change our interaction mode to vertex paint. If I change the interaction mode of my object, then I can see on the sidebar in the tool, active tool, this is a brush, and brush settings, all of your color picker or all of your settings appear like here. And we see again to outliner, we see the icon over here, and I'm going to object mode. If I go to outliner, I cannot see any type of icon. This means these are not changeable for now. You cannot change in here in like that, but if you are change your interaction mode, you can just interact your object, something like edit, something like sculpt, something like vertex or weight or texture paint. And now I'm going to object mode, and now we have different type of actually buttons over here. These are actually looking for your object or selected objects with different kind of context appear with your selected objects. Views, select, add objects, this general, this is not actually changes. But if I select my mode and also we select add a mesh and sculpt mode, we can change our actually they are related to your actually interaction mode, and we're gonna see the more details in here. And in object mode we cannot see so many things in here. And also next one, we're gonna see that a little gizmos or snapping something different settings of your actually selected objects type or different type of settings appears on the top. And on the top right side we can see the different type of these things. I'm gonna explain next part of this actually. And we saw before video the actually workspaces, right? And we just left the layout workspace, and let's look at last things in our actually in this video, how we are set our actually default settings, how we are reach them. Okay, let's learn. First of all, go to file and defaults and load factory settings. If I hover over my mouse on this load factory settings, that explain appears and that said load factory default startup file and preferences. To make changes permanent, use save startup file and save preferences. If I click and then another things to say actually window appears and they said okay, load factory default startup file and preferences, then again to actually asking your again, are you sure you're gonna change this load factory settings of your actually all settings is changed about loading the factory default startup file and preferences, are you okay with them? And then you can just click it. But with some people just click other way. Again, I'm just showing again guys, because if you go to like this and this is disappear and you cannot select again okay this button again, the file defaults, if you move fast and you can just disappear all of stuff. Just please be slow, because this blender slow you actually. Go to file defaults and I'm gonna again click left click and just my mouse my mouse will wait there. If I go out of this buttons so many far and this is disappear and you cannot change this defaults. Again, file defaults, load factory settings, but you cannot move again your mouse and wait and now load factory settings and again let's click again. If I click and my actually program just freeze, and now we have a loading default settings. Now you can see all of your workspaces here and you can see every actually settings loading default like this. And then let's learn something part of something special one. Let's save our first file and go to file and we see the save. Let's save our file. This is save the current Blender file for now. if I click the save file, and we're gonna see the window, it's just appears like this. And I'm gonna select my desktop. Let's change our actually Blender file name. This is a Blender file name to save our Blender file. Click that mouse button and just or you just write your name dot blend. You cannot delete. If you want to delete, there is no problem. Just write like this your name, or let's just write our name and select this place. And again, this is automatically just adding your file name dot blend. And let's save our Blender file, and it's done. For now, I see that the saved Stun Muffin on the bottom side, and you can actually see all interactions about your interaction log over here. And if I go to file again, if I save again and click this bottom of this information, this is a Blender info log, and this logs actually shows your all of your actually things in the Blender, and you see all of your actions, all of your behaviors, and you can see all of your actually errors. Something like errors you can see on this Blender error. This is the last one, I can say that. And this is the last one of the beginning section of this user interface. And for now, thank you for watching me. If you like the video, please like the video and comment down below and ask you whatever you want. Actually, do not hesitate about anything. Thank you for watching me, and see you next time.